Friends. Someone on Tumblr earlier this week asked me how I'm so happy. And I wanted to give them like a really succinct answer, so I said that I would make a video about it whenever I had time to sit down and make a video, which is today. I just did my nailsies. They're very like pink and sparkly and pretty. So usually, when I decide when I want to make a video on, I like to let it, Apollo has joined us, hi buddy, I like to let it marinate a little bit before I get to talking about it, and then the universe always delivers me good insight. So I found a quote that really just like encompasses everything you need to know, and it's probably is not going to be what you want to hear, I don't think, but it is a good one. So it's, I know that there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. So when you are happy, like that is your natural state, or maybe not happy, but just like content, like at peace with life, like that is how humans are intended to be. Like that's how God designed us to be, like the majority of the time. Of course, like we're humans, we're gonna have emotions, we're gonna have ups and downs, but it's like that is a very good state of being. When you're happy, you are open, you are receptive to life, like you are like moving in alignment with life, things feel good, right? And when you're the opposite of that, it's usually because you aren't responding to what is very well. You are like in resistance to like life as it is in front of you, and that generates suffering, and you can become addicted to suffering. And when you're addicted to suffering, that is keeping you from living out your purpose. And then that's why you feel so lost in the sauce, because maybe you're feeling like you need to give your energy to every cause that comes along, or like every world crisis or whatever, and it's like you can't. It's just you can't do that. You have to have boundaries, and boundaries without empathy is empathy without boundaries is self-destruction. That one had a hard time coming out, but I posted that on my Tumblr the other day, because like, yeah, it's a beautiful thing to be empathetic, it's a beautiful thing to be kind and loving and like want to help others, but like if you are doing that to your own detriment, no more. No more, not in a new earth. Okay, so how to be happy? Decide to be happy. Like, I mean, that's the basics of it, but really, if we're gonna break it down on like a granular level, look right now. So if you don't feel happy, look at your schedule, okay? What do you spend the majority of your time like giving yourself to? And when you're like doing these things, like, are you planting seeds for future you, so that future you will be happy and have something to thank you for? Or are you just kind of like looking at the fact that you're not reaping any seeds, and then you're squandering the present moment as a result? Like, you're not setting yourself up for success, right? So if the majority of things you're giving your energy and time to aren't making you happy, then no wonder you're not happy, right? So then it's like you just need to find ways. Literally, I have spent the last 2 years of my life doing this. Find ways to remove yourself from places and spaces and scenarios and situations and relationships that do not bring you happiness. Obviously, you can't just like drop everything and run away from all your responsibilities, but like you can set boundaries and say, hey, this doesn't make me feel good, so I'm gonna make a change. Because if you just sit there and let life happen to you and play the victim, it's like we can only listen to that for so long. Like, you're holding up the prayer line. Like, why not just make the change? Why not just decide to start doing things that make you happy? And I think the problem is people don't understand what makes them happy, because they don't we've lost touch with like what good role models are. Like, people will look to like who has the most Instagram followers, and they'll be like, oh, if I want to be happy, I have to emulate that. But it's like you're not really like going internally and being like, what makes me happy? Like, for me, it's been like walking 10,000 steps a day, eating lots of yummy little treats, spending time with my family, spending time in nature with animals. I saw a fox for the first time. I don't think I've told you guys this, but yeah, I've seen, there's little goslings by the pond. There's so many deer, so many gophers, just like all the animals. I have more animal friends than I do human friends. That's how I stay happy, because I only really want to be around people who it's like they aren't dragging me down. Like, their lack of self-control is not becoming my problem, because I think for a lot of people, like, as much as you love the people around you, like, consider whether they are the thing that is holding you back from greatness. Could that be it? You know, like I'm an Aquarius South node, so typically speaking, like if you study astrology, like your South node is like the life you came out of. So like in a past life, like I think I was Anne Boleyn, you know what I mean? So obviously I fucked people over, like I was very selfish. And now I'm coming into like a Leo North node life, so it's like, you know, early on in my life, like I really had to like be self-sacrificial at the extent of helping others and making others happy. But really my purpose in this life is to say fuck all that shit. What makes me happy? What am I here to do? And then go out and do that fearlessly with a lion heart, you know? So then I inspire others to do that. And it's like, you being on purpose isn't going to look like you doing exactly what I'm doing, but maybe you can use my template to like create your own dream life. You know, that's kind of like what I'll do at work. Like, let's say my boss needs me to do something. If he asks me to do it once, like I'll need like a solid template of like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. And then once he's given me that and kind of like all the tools I need, then I can go and build my own version of that. And then maybe I can find new things to show him through doing it my own way. But it's just like, so I have this template of success, right? And so actually today, I don't know if I'm gonna get emotional when I talk about this. I kind of ranted about it on Tumblr earlier. This is a hard one. So today, it's been like 6 years since I was assaulted by multiple men at the same time whose names I do not know. To this day, I still do not know. And that is, you know, a lot on a person. And it's not like I just like passively like let this pass me by. Like I went to the hospital within hours. I literally, because I was considered evidence, I had to be driven from one hospital to another in the back of a police car. The police, literally the detective on my case, at one point she laughed in my face, like while I'm expressing my emotions to her. At another point, she just called me randomly in the middle of the day. I was about to go into the gym. She's like talking about all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then she's talking about I might have deleted evidence. Literally, like, I just, after this happened to me, I went home to my parents' house. This was a few years ago, because mind you, it's been 6 years since this happened. I'm literally rage screaming in my living room. So it's like, I have all this anger inside me, right? Like, I've been through all these things. Like, the case, like, the police were never able really to do anything for me. So it's just kind of like, they tested my kit after 3 years. Like, these people's, like, their DNA is in the system. So if they were to ever get, like, caught doing something else, like, God willing, like someone would call me and let me know and we'd be able to like figure out who these people are. I don't even think I'd press charges at this point. Like I fully just believe like vengeance is the Lord's and it's not for me. Like I don't want to have to go through that whole thing and like drag it up and like relive it. I just want to like my karma is like, you know, being my best self and not letting myself become like a victim of my circumstances, like the things that happened to me, you know, like that's a heavy thing for a person to go through. Like it completely changed my life. And when that initially happened to me, again, I was only 20 years old. And I tried to keep life the same, you know, I tried to resist what the universe was obviously showing me. Like the universe was really trying to put me on the spiritual path, like much earlier than I allowed myself to like be pulled onto it. But sorry, I'm going in circles right now, but yeah, like had I listened to like signs the universe was showing to me before I went through that big trauma, like perhaps I could have avoided that. But I was just like so insistent on like, no, my life has to be this way, it has to look a certain way, because I thought that chasing that path, that was what was going to make me happy. Here we go, now we're getting back on track. But in reality, that was just like that was a distorted illusion of happiness, right? That was like me looking at like Instagram, or like I grew up in the Jersey Shore era, so like looking at, you know, what oh my gosh, what people I saw on TV were doing that I thought would make me happy, you know. And none of that, like no matter how far I chased that path, never would that have ever brought me happiness or fulfillment. It just brought me chaos and stress and drama, and I was addicted to that. And that was the siren entities. Siren entities thrive off of drama. So now I really have eliminated all of that from my life, you know. And it's just I have 8 contacts on my phone. The only social media I use is Tumblr and YouTube, and I love Pinterest. Pinterest is my safe space. I have Tumblr still because I like sharing my message with people, and I have a pretty big following over there, you know, even though again don't get a lot of engagement, but still I'm really trying to like help people see the light and show just like actually someone sent me a message. I don't know if I talked about this on here or not, but someone sent me an ask and they're like, hey, like, can we ask what happened to you? Like, you know, you used to post like all kinds of like really risque and like forward stuff, and now you're just like a lot different. I think maybe they're thinking I like went through some sort of like Bible thumper thing. I don't know. But I was like, well, wording it like, what happened to you? Like, that's really weird. You know, it's like it was more of an unhappening. Like, it was like a coming back to myself and like an unconditioning of like who I was taught to be. Because like as a like I'm very intelligent, I'm very well spoken, and like you can tell this about me, right? Like and when I was younger, I was like this too. Like, I was like, in elementary school, middle school, whatever, you know, like the teacher might like tell everyone like, okay, we're gonna read like our novel study, and like everyone will read a sentence. The teachers would literally just plop me on a stool at the front of the classroom and say, read. And so in grade 1 we had to read, I think, 100 books before like the end of the year or something. I read 200 before most people had finished 100. I was the first person in my elementary school history to like finish like the accelerated reading program or whatever, you know. Like, so I'm just like, I've always been very intelligent, and like where I live in the middle of nowhere, and like the the city buses that drive around here, they say Alberta spends the least on Canada, or least in Canada, on public education. And the conversations I hear people having out in public, like rarely do I hear like intelligent conversation, you know. It's usually just like very small-minded people. So like when I was younger, I had a hard time like being by myself. Like, I didn't want to feel like lonely or isolated, and like also my parents are like emotionally immature. So I was just like always looking for people I could connect with. And it got to a point, probably like when I was in middle school, I was like, okay, I need to like dumb myself down, I guess, if I want to be accepted, or just like change my interests. So then it's like I stopped caring about the things that were so important to me when I was younger. And I just got really into like drinking and like partying and like just making myself this like trying to satisfy the male gaze, essentially. And so something I want to talk about, I don't know if it'll be like fully in this video or like in a different video, is like I had a vision of like there's like the male gaze, and then there's like my throat, the divine masculine gaze, right? And so the male gaze is like a distortion that we are unraveling. Refer to a few videos back if you need to. But the male gaze is essentially like, it's a very ego driven thing, right? And it's like what women like. So again, I'm a woman. I was like very deeply feeling, very just like ahead of my time as a child, and then I was taught to be this thing that satisfies the male gaze, right? And then so as women become that version of themselves, like that is helpful for the male ego, because then the male ego doesn't see the divine feminine. He doesn't have to rise up to be the divine masculine, right? He can just be a man, whatever the modern day definition of a man is, you know. Because it's like, I don't even think men understand what their purpose is right now. Women don't understand what their purpose is right now, because we're all impacted by these entities that are trying to make us like live in service to like the algorithm, or like to lower vibrational things, like to the old earth, which is dying, you know. So basically, I think the path to happiness, sorry, this is so unorganized, I didn't have notes this week. I think like the path to happiness lies in seeing like where you are accountable for your own suffering. Because like I used to feel really sad all the time and really rejected, right? Because I was constantly like searching for male validation, and then like because I'm seeking that, and then it's just like I'm having experiences that are just making me feel like I'm not good enough, I'm never gonna be good enough, like I don't have the right body, I don't have the right personality, the right interests, whatever, you know. It's just like I'm chasing. And then as soon as I stopped running in that race and stopped trying to play that game, and just like got comfortable like just being in my own company, and just trusting that like whatever is for me will be attracted to me naturally, and like not trying to make things happen like on some sort of like made up timeline that says like I have to be married and have a kid by like 25. You know, it's like I'm just trusting the process of my life, and I'm letting things unfold, and I'm not feeling the need to perform for anyone else or like to be something that I'm not. I'm just like receptive. I respond to what is shown to me. I go where I feel called. I do what I feel called. I just trust like day by day. And I take care of my physical vessel. So I think we're on like what, 28 days of 10,000 steps a day at least. I did 10 kilometers yesterday. I'm still learning the piano and Duolingo, trying to get back into reading. One issue I'm running into is like I'm feeling as though my career is like, because I don't even have a full-time job. I literally only work 29 hours a week, but it's just like my job is one of those ones that I feel like I can never put down, I guess. I don't know. Or like I have like a never ending to-do list. Like it can never just like be done and then feel like I can just like go in on a Monday and be like I have nothing to do. Like I can just start the week, you know. There's always I always feel like I'm behind, no matter like what I do. So I'm like, okay, let me not let this run my life or whatever. Yeah, so I think it's just like, even though work is stressing me out and obviously I need money to live, it's like I still make sure that like I'm taking care of me outside of that. Like Thursday this past week, for example, like I just knew, I woke up and I was like, I have nothing to give today. I can't give anything to anyone until I've taken care of myself. So I messaged my boss. I was like, hey, like I just need a minute. You know, I can't today. And so I spent a few hours soaking in the bath. Like I had just an aching in my bones. Like it felt so ancient. Like I felt like I was just like something very collective and like old was moving through me. So, you know, I honored that and like I let myself just like soak in the bath and like relax and everything. I had like a slow morning, and then from like, I don't know, like 12 to 4, like I did do some work, but it's not like I wasn't online like answering slacks or anything. I was just kind of like resetting systems for myself. So literally like getting my inbox down to 0, like just like catching up on like tracking different things or whatever that are like kind of like crucial to my process. That it's like, okay, if I don't have time to do this like for a week, then like I feel fucked or whatever, you know? So just in life, you have to do that for yourself. Like if things start to feel chaotic or like you feel you're noticing like you're in a spurt of like depression or unhappiness, like reset your systems. What does that look like? Like maybe you need to go to the grocery store and like stock up on like healthy foods, or just like, you know, the snacks that make you happy. Like clean your closet, do your laundry, wash your bed sheets, take a shower, like reset your systems. Like sometimes this is where the masculine aspect comes in handy for me, because again, I'm like a very feminine, like airy fairy, like dream world Disney princess type person. But when I am at my best is when I do have those masculine systems in place, when it's like I do know, like if I'm walking 10,000 steps a day, I am less likely to be like having emotional blowouts, or it's like it's easier. Like I'm still an emotional person, but like I can regulate my emotions because my mind is not working against me, because an overactive mind is the result of an unchallenged body. So another way, like what you can think of it is like picture yourself as like a triangle, okay? I literally have 333 tattooed. So threes are very important to me. And you have to picture it like mind, body, spirit. Right? So like for me, I mean, some people have a very like physically demanding job, but in my case, my job most of the time is just like mentally demanding. Like I just have to be like sitting in front of my computer, like either editing things, organizing things, like communicating, whatever. So very taxing on the mind, right? And so if I'm having a hard time focusing, if my mental is off, then I go to the other two quadrants of my triangle, right? There's body and there's spirit. So I can, of course, pray, do the serenity prayer, ask God for wisdom, know, like, is what's on my mind, what's keeping me distracted? Is this something that I actually need to worry about? Or can I give that to God? Can I journal about that, give it to a higher power, get rid of it, clear it out of my mind? And if that doesn't work, then you need to go to the body. Am I hungry? Am I hydrated? Do I need to take a shower? Can I get some movement in? Even if you just go do a lap around the neighborhood. I feel genuinely like as humans, like even if you're not fortunate enough to like have a job that I have where I can just get up and walk away if I need to, like, I feel like if, you know, like you're working retail or something and you just have like a really frustrating, like whatever, like you should be allowed to go out and just like have a walk and cool it off. Like you shouldn't be expected to like continue on. And like I really do have to give myself that grace. Like I understand like, okay, I'm a human being and there's only so much I can do. Like I can do anything, but I can't do everything. So just like remove that pressure from yourself of like feeling like you have to do everything, or like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, because all that is on your shoulders is your vibration. So once you remove all that other stuff and you give other people back their burdens, or you give things to God and you just pray, then all you really have to focus on is moving that body, getting your little fat butt in motion, and like just choosing to feel good about the world, right? So like again, if you are a sensitive person, like I'm literally a trending news editor, right? So like on one end that could mean like I constantly scour social media and I'm always informed about what's happening and blah blah blah. Maybe that would make me better at my job. But for my mental health, it's better if I'm just like only online when I'm getting paid to be. So that's where I'm at. And like maybe that'll change one day, but like as of right now, I would be so happy to never watch another Instagram reel or never read another tweet unless I was getting paid to do it, you know? Because it's just, I don't care. Like my ego used to be very much like I need to know everything. I need to know. I don't want to be misinformed. I don't want to be uninformed. I don't want to look stupid, like blah, blah, blah. But now I'm just like, I don't need to know everything, but I do have an open sense of curiosity. So it's like if there's something I don't know that comes up and it feels important to me that I learn about it, I have all the tools I need to go learn about it at my disposal. So yeah, just kind of freeing yourself from you're a victim of the rules you live by is kind of one of my favorite things. I have a few decks of cards in front of me, so I'm going to pull some cards. We're at 20 minutes right now. I'm going to the circus this evening, so I have to get ready for that. And yeah, the Empress is on top here. That's how I'm trying to be. I keep seeing just like the cutest little kids everywhere I go. I'm really trying to make it a point to just, you know, like smile at children and stuff, or like when I go on my walk, sometimes I'll run into my aunt and uncle and they have a little dog. His name is Charlie. And there's this little boy and his mom in the park. This little boy runs up, he's like, "Can I pet your dog?" And he was just getting so excited. Oh, it almost made me cry. Like, children are so important, and I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm turning my focus more towards them. Like, I feel like they can learn from me. So this is the Five of Wands, so this is usually like a card of conflict and like, I don't know, like anger and stuff, but in this one it's kind of more of like play and fun, right? So instead of thinking that it's always you versus the world, if we all realize that it's just like it's us versus us, then it's like we can get together and talk about our internal struggles instead of thinking like, oh, I'm completely alone because no one around me like feels the same about me or as me, like on this issue. Like that's very like, it's a divisive way of thinking and it just can't continue. Okay, these cards flew out. The King of Cups. Hell yeah, I feel like men actually are kind of more in their feminine energy lately, or it's like, you know, that's what they're working towards healing, just realizing like where they've been blocking themselves from like receiving love. Seashells are actually a big theme for me lately too. I found some, maybe I want to make a video. I was cleaning out the closet in my parents' basement the other day. I found so much stuff from when I was younger, like all my old Disney books and VHS stuff, saving so much money for when I have children so that I don't have to buy them all myself. But I found all these old shells. I mean, I had some in my room already, but just like different ones that I got when I was in Newfoundland like years ago. The Hierophant, so this is like the Pope, so this is like, you know, that spirit aspect. Call it, like, talk to God, and if you don't believe in God, talk to your ancestors, because like those are people that like their spirits are around you, they came before you, like you can rely on their wisdom instead of thinking you have to know everything yourself. I think that's like a buffalo or a bison. I'm feeling very tapped into like my indigenous ancestry lately. That's something that like, actually that was really important to me, like when I found out about it when I was younger, and then my parents laughed at me. So then I was like, oh, okay, I won't care about that. But no, it's very important. The Star. After the Tower comes the Star. This is the Aquarius card too. I'm an Aquarius. We're in the age of Aquarius. Aquarian energy is just very important because we hold space. And we can go very deep because we have that capacity, like, to hold space. And especially, like, me, so I have Scorpio and Aquarius. That is a gift. The Seven of Cups. So, Seven of Cups traditionally is, like, you know, like, you have choices. But this is just, like, a dude banging on his drums. And, like, maybe that's, like, his passion or whatever. Is, like, okay, you know I have choices. So, it's, like, if I know I have options, like, I don't need to... Like me, for example, like with my career, how I was saying, like being a trending news editor, if I was constantly like chronically online, sure, maybe that would make me better at my job, but also it's like I know I have options, I know I can do anything. So like if I were to decide suddenly like, oh, I don't want to do this career anymore, I know I could do anything else, right? So then that allows me, like when I am focusing towards my work, like I do it with the best of my ability, but I don't overgive because I know I have other aspects of myself that are important to nurture. That's how I feel. Okay, we'll get... Oh, this one looks like it wants to come out. The Lovers. Yeah, exactly. Let's get together and feel all right. I'm gonna keep saying it. I do believe, like, love is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. And it can transcend everything. And it doesn't even just have to be, like, romantic, you know what I mean? Like, love for... nature, love for the universe, love for existence, love for the possibility of like what could be. So the Four of Cups, there's lots of cups here. I think we're very in our feelings. no pentacles. So I think, yeah, people are just feeling very deeply. And see, this person, like, there's this shell that's calling her, but she doesn't really seem like she wants to answer it. So she's stuck in, I was talking about how you can be addicted to suffering. Maybe she's addicted to suffering and she can't hear the calling. The King of Cups, the love of her life, is calling for a girl just like her, but because she's choosing to suffer and stay in, like, the lower version of herself, this divine masculine, like, this is the bird, how men do that, like, the little dancey dance to, like, attract their partner, and she's not even listening. She's not even ready to receive. She has this wounded feminine energy. I want to see more healed feminine, more confident, happy, healthy people, and, like, authentically confident too. None of that fake shit. Like, none of that, like, posting, like, yeah, sure, you take a lot of selfies, but all of them are filtered, or it's just like you always have to be, like, showing off your body or whatever. Like, I don't know. I'm tired of the clones. I don't want any more of that. I want more individuality and uniqueness. 5 of Cups. Yeah, all these cups, that's crazy. This one is really, like, this one is at least kind of, it's like she's just spending time alone and maybe she'll pick up the phone, but the 5 of Cups is really just, like, intentionally, like, isolating yourself and, like, playing the victim. Look who's on the bottom here, the Queen of Pentacles. So this is me. It's like I am abundantly cared for and, like, protected, and I just know that, like, so long as I go about the world, like, in my authentic energy and just, like, sharing what I feel called to share with people and just living very intuitively. That's all I do. I don't plan things too far in advance. I just go with the flow. Okay, these are healing energy oracle cards, so we're gonna get a few of those, and then I really do have to go get ready for the circus. In God's hands, like I said before, the serenity prayer. So this says, my trust in life is implicit. God's greater knowing and greatest love guide my heart and my choices. My faith is steady, and I remain true to my light. Everything unfolds according to God's will. So it's like, if you are in that knowing that, like, God has got it all figured out, and, like, if it's important for you to make a choice or, like, take action, like, you will know that. You will feel called to do it. Goodness. This is green, heart chakra. I refine my character and overcome difficulties by remaining positive. This is that choosing happiness that I'm talking about. I calm my heart and illuminate my intellect to transform shadow into light. I consciously manifest goodness in and around me. I improve my qualities for the benefit of all. So know that, like, if you are choosing to focus more on the positive, then you're going to attract more of that in, right? And that's what the world needs. But if, like, you're choosing to focus on the negative, then you're just going to see more of that. And we don't need more of that. You can tell, like, if you think the world sucks right now, the last thing we need is more bad vibrations. Like, if you see someone is having, like, a bad day or just, like, in a dire situation, like, how, if they seem like they're going to be receptive to, like, seeing humor in it, like, how can you make them laugh? How can you connect with them? How can you empathize? How can you show love instead of connecting through, like, gossip or hatred or negativity? Like, we have much more important matters to deal with than, like, talking shit. Okay, 2 cards that came out here. Joy. So, like a child, I discover joy in the simplicity of life. Happiness lies in magical moments, not in the material. Even the smallest joy is a great source of life. So notice how this talked about children, and I've been talking about children too. Like, what children in your life can you spend time with and, like, set a good example for? Like, really just consider yourself a mentor to people. I think mentorship has, like, lost its meaning. Like, it's just become kind of like a career thing, but, like, I am, like, an energetic mentor. That's what I consider myself to be. The voice of the heart. So this says, I silence the fear in me and discover the voice of my heart. The fruit of these words guides me. I trust the song of my soul. My intuition leads me on the path of light. And I posted a Rumi quote today, and it was something like, the path forward is whatever purifies you, or something like that. So balance, right? Like, you have to exist that, like, darkness or, like, you know, negativity, like, different energies exist within you, right? But it's up to you to balance those. And how can you alchemize the darkness into goodness, like how I've done, like, with my situation. Like, everything I went through, like, none of that was easy, and I could have, I mean, for a few years there, I was, like, playing the victim, and I was, like, repeating the same patterns and just, like, being stuck in a trauma loop. And then I had to free myself, and it took a lot of work, but I've done it. So balance says, I find a balance between each sphere of my life. I am the master of my daily life. I make time to nourish the spiritual and the physical. I bring love to my world by fulfilling the needs of my body and soul. Body, mind, spirit. It's really as simple as that. Any problem, like, you think so many people are caught in the loop of just like being addicted to stress, being addicted to suffering, and you think the only way out is like a weekend full of like partying or like overstimulating your senses or whatever, and then it's just like you're stuck in this pattern. But if you just like free yourself from all of that, what is this? The Six of Cups. See? I know it's hard, but we need each other. That's a Brockhampton lyric that I really like. We need to go back to our roots, and maybe I've told you guys this, but it's like I kind of say like masculine energy is like to serve and protect. Feminine energy is to inspire and create. So balanced humans, again, balance. So tapping into your masculine energy is like moving towards what makes you feel called to serve the collective, and also remembering to protect yourself. And then once you protect yourself, you can also protect those that are important to you. But if you're not prioritizing yourself first, then like it's just not going to work. But again, so what makes you called to serve, right? In my case, it's like storytelling, it's connecting with people, it's healing people. Like that really does feel like something that like I am here to do. And then on the feminine side, it's to inspire, like the feminine goddess, like muse-like energy. So like what can you share that might inspire other people? Because if we continue playing out Attack of the Clones and everyone is just copying whoever is making the most money on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, we're not going to get anywhere. What do you have to add to the conversation? How can you inspire others to like be their authentic selves? And then creation, again, obviously feminine energy. We are vessels, we are portals. But even just like creation, like in any sort of way, like maybe make some jewelry, draw something, paint something, plant a garden, anything, you know? So that's how you nurture your feminine energy. These are just some things to think about. I feel like I got everything I wanted to say out. Learning to love myself. This one says, I choose to see the beauty in me. My wealth lies in my nature and potential. I transform my weaknesses into strengths. I realize that I am a being of light, and I allow myself to shine. Shine bright like a diamond. You better act like the sun, okay? I have so many good quotes for this. And it is just kind of what I'm learning too. Like, just because someone around me is having a bad day, or like, you know, maybe they feel threatened by like my confidence or my potential or my beauty or something like that, like that can't become my problem. And if they consistently try to make it my problem, then I have to ask myself, like, is this someone I want in my life? And if it's not, then if you clear that space out, then suddenly the universe sees there's a void. I need to fill it with something that is actually aligned with that person. So, keep on keeping on. Play on, players. Love you guys.